All right, Shalom Mashpaka. Today I'm gonna be talking about names, and the way I'm gonna go about it is gonna be kind of different. Shalom, Monster Moshe. Go ahead and share this clip. I do not own the rights to this clip. This is for fair use purposes only. All right, I'm gonna share this clip.
What about changing your last name? Is that a big deal?
Um, well, to me,
Yes, it is.
well, no, not really. I would like to do it. I haven't done it. See if it was.
You
a
have
big-
not.
No,
You're
that's what I'm
hyphenated.
saying. I'm hyphenated.
Okay, well, listen.
But, okay.
My homegirl,
Yes.
Jessica Simpson, who I feel like she's my best friend in my head. I do
Yes.
sometimes.
Me
I swear to God, I
too.
do. So I heard,
Love it.
allegedly, homegirl's getting ready to change her name from Jessica Simpson. So check this out. You ready for it? You ready
Yes.
for it? Get your life, get your life. Jessica Johnson.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if she's from Jessica Johnson from Detroit or Jessica Johnson from Beverly Hills. No shade. But
I agree all the way.
if I was her, I would say my name is Jessica Simpson
Simpson
Johnson.
Johnson.
So you know that's the Jessica Simpson with the $1 billion empire.
Tamar, I think it depends on the couple. For me, I would like to change my name in my private life, but my entertainment name, I
Right.
guess that's what they call it.
You worked hard for that
I worked
name.
hard for Tamara Mori, and my husband respects that. It's not even a big deal to Adam, because I asked. But because, you know, it's Aiden Housley, Adam Housley, I feel a little kind of like left out. I love the last name Housley. I wouldn't mind, you
I
know,
know you
having.
do.
I do. I like Tamara Housley. I like the
That's Tamara, and they got this show up there. I put the link in there. Y'all can watch that on y'all time when y'all want to. But they're talking about the changing of your name. And my question to you, Yasharal, do you think that it's important that our names is changed? Now, when I was growing up, Shalom sister, Naomi and sister Professor Lovely Lady Ak Ben and Ak Moshe, Shalom to y'all Mashpaka. And shalom to all of the family that's joining into the chat. And I want to ask y'all, do y'all think it's important that y'all change y'all name? Sisters, do y'all think that it's the Father's will that y'all change y'all name? Because I heard a Muslim saying that they don't think that it's good that a woman should change the name of their father's house, and when they get married to a man and they lose the identity of their father. Do y'all think that that's a good thing that we change our name? Now I'm gonna add up some Bible verses. All right. Everybody got their own beliefs and what they think is right and what they think is not right, but let me share this with you. Okay. So, excuse me. Turn it to, I got it on Daniel, but turn it to Proverbs chapter 22. Excuse me. Mm, 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 mm. Proverb in 2022. All right. There we go. Proverb 22. What do y'all see there? Y'all see the Bible? All right. Let me read what you got, Mashpaka. Sister Professor Lovely Lady say, the Most High has not laid it upon my heart to change my name. It would entail too much paperwork change anyway. Just my thoughts. Anybody else? Just be honest, Mashpaka. Moshe ben Yehuda, Yisrael bless. Shalom, sister. Uh, Let me see. Anybody else? Do anybody else? What do you think? Do you think that it's good that Israelite women change their name when they get married? Do you think that it's good for women to change their name in general? You can comment it uh Shalom privacy, right? Not privacy. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all, but I don't want to go too fast because I want to know what y'all thoughts at. All right. So I'm gonna put the sister what she said up there. That's what Professor Lovely Lady say it's gonna take away. Say it's gonna take away. Let me see. Oh, it's privacy. All right. So Sister Lovely Lady say that she don't think that it's laid upon her heart to change her name. She said it would entail too much paperwork change anyway. Just my thought. But when you get married, sister, they give you an option. They say you can when you get married, I think they put on your marriage certificate, Mister and Mrs. Whatever your husband name is, and you had the option to call yourself what your last name is, or you like some of these women's now they say they don't want their husband name. They just want to have the name of their father. That what do you think that means? Before we go here, just say Proverbs 22. Let's go to Genesis. We're gonna go back to Genesis to the beginning. All right. Okay. Here Yahweh is creating Adam. All right. And he say right here in verse 26 of Barashayat, that's Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And Allahayim said, let us make Adam in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. Look at what it say. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. Now remember, there's no offspring of Abraham walking around yet with the cloth on for diapers or nothing. Habal and Qayan ain't born yet. Not even Sheth. But it's just Adam, him walking with Allahayim. Now look, on the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air. So it say, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle. So you see his name and you see his responsibility with his name. And then Allahayim gives him responsibility. He say over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Notice he ain't talking about the Asha yet. He ain't talking about the Asha. He say right here, Ayash wa Asha. Aisha. So it say male and female. Now I say, so Allah created Adam in his own image, in his own glory. In the image of Allahayim created he him. Ayash wa Asha created he them, male and female. And Ayash means husband as well, just so y'all know. Ayash means wife, and also it means female. So if a brother is talking to a female, just speaking to a sister, and he say, Shalom Ayash, Shalom Asha. He ain't calling her his wife if he not married to her. But if he say Shalom Asha and with lust in his heart, then he saying that that's his wife where he covenanting another man's wife. But anyway, he say Ayash wa Ayasha. Ayash wa Asha created he them. And Allahayim blessed them And Elohim said unto them, see, Adam, mankind, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. And now look at what he gave to Adam and his wife. He said, Elohim blessed them. He didn't say he just blessed Adam. Because right up here, he said he gave Adam, which means mankind, dominion, male and female, dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth. Not just a couple of turncoats and a couple of people with wigs on their head sitting down at some place. He said he give it to Adam to have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Elohim created Adam in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. So when they say that the first man was a monkey, they saying that Elohim created Adam in this image. When they saying that, they saying Elohim is a monkey. Male and female created he them. And Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said unto them, not just Adam, Elohim said unto them, not just the Ayash, but also to the Asha. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim barakah them, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. Here's something else for you, Mashpaka. When people say the law is done away with, why they don't never say this done away with? Why they don't never say making babies is done away with? That's the first commandment. When y'all gave, these is one of the first commandments. One of the first commandment was to be fruitful and multiply. And replenish the earth. Fill the earth. And subdue it. Bring it into submission and into subjection. And have dominion over the fish of the sea. And over the fowl of the air. And over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Not over every Adam and every Asha. Not every Ayash and Asha that walketh upon the earth. But over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. The animals. And Elohim said, behold, I have given you the Ayash and the Asha, woman, the husband and wife, male and female. I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielded seed. To you it shall be for meat. So when I told y'all the other day, and I forgot to put this up, the fruit of the tree is meat. It is meat. Just like when you say that you like to eat turkey, an apple is meat. That is also meat. It is a living, a tree is a living thing. And Elohim said the fruit that is your meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life. Life. I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. Now, if we want to read this, now we just looking at it in English. But if we want to read what it's saying in verse 30, and I'm going to get back to you, Mashpaka. But if we want to read what it's saying in verse 30, then we'll go to read it to see what it say. All right? So I'm going to go to verse 30. Go to verse 30. Because I want to read what verse 30 say. Not just look at it in English to where it did not derive. but I want to read it, and I want to try to sound out the ancient Hebrew letters so we can read what it say, not look at it from a language that it didn't derive from. Verse 30. All right? And it say, every green, okay, food for eating, la akala, they say la akhala, le akhala, le achila, food, eating. And it was so. Kana, and watch this now. Now it say living creature. I'm gonna go back to where it say living creature to show you the difference between Adam and the animals. All right. So let me see. Let me go to the life. Say day. That's the sixth day. I'm too far. So let me go back because I didn't see where it say living. All right. Where there's life. Hold on. Because we're gonna see that it's the same word. Okay. Let's see. Uh meat. Let me see. Let me go to where it say meat. Uh Y'all say it say beast. In ancient Hebrew, beast is Bahama. Like you say the Bahamas. Hold on, why is they but here they don't have it there. But they give you the letter right here. They say Chaya. But beast in Canaanite Hebrew is Bahama. Alright. So let me see. But they didn't put it there. Let me see. Life. Let's see what we find. Life. Here it go. Right, life right there. Uh Napasha. Napasha. And they say Nafesh. All right. Napasha. That's for a soul, living being, life, self, person, desire, passion, appetite, emotion. All right. Now we're gonna go back to Adam. Go back to the Bible and go to Adam. So where was we at? I'm sorry, Mashpaka, I didn't see you right now. I will get to you in a few minutes. Let me cover this real quick. So verse 29. And it say, and Elohim said, I will give you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which there is fruit of yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth. There wherein there is life. Now let's go to chapter 2. The creation of Adam. It say, these are the generations of the Shamayam and the Arats when they were created. In the day that that Yahweh Elohim made the earth and the Shamayam, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grow. For Yahweh Elohim have not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not an Adam to till the ground. What is Adam? We just read it. It's the male and female. There was not an Adam to till the ground, but there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. So now look, Yahweh finished creating the heavens and the earth. So now we going back to, he's going to go to more detail of the creation. And he's saying Elohim and Yahweh Elohim formed Adam of the dust. Now he's telling you how he formed him of the dust of the ground. That's why when we die, our bodies turn back to dust of the ground. and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and Adam became a living soul. And I'm doing this for a reason. Don't worry, I'm still on topic. All right? And Adam became a living soul. Now, see, the animals have a meaning of their names, personal. All right? But Adam is not to be ruled over by another Adam. So now, let us go into the Scrolls. All right? Here. So it say right here. Oh, that's the heavens. So let me go. What was we? All right. Day. Uh, finished all his work. He rested from all his work. That's the Shabbat. Why am I at the Shabbat? All right. Let's see. And earth was complete and all that was in it. Uh, what's going on here? Hold on. So let's go back to Barashayath, chapter 2. I could do audio. Let me see if I could do that. All right, so yeah, that should be better for us. Mashbaka. So let's see. Let's read. Let's let them read the full book. Let's go here.
Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters, to separate the waters from the waters." So God made the expanse, and separated the waters beneath it from the waters above. And it was so. God called the expanse sky. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the sky be gathered into one place, so that the dry land may appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth,
Genesis chapter
and the
2.
gathering of waters he
Thus
called
the heavens
seas.
and the earth were completed in all their vast array. And by the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on that day he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because on that day he rested from all the work of creation that he had accomplished. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made them. Now no shrub of the field had yet appeared on the earth, nor had any plant of the field sprouted. For the Lord God had not yet sent rain upon the earth, and there was no man to cultivate the ground. But springs welled up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed the breath of life into his nostrils, and the man became a living being. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden in the east, where he placed the man he had formed. Out of the ground the Lord God gave growth to every tree that is pleasing to the eye and good for food. And in the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it branched into 4 headwaters. The name of the first river is Pishon. It winds through the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is pure, and bdellium and onyx are found there.
Okay. So now what I'm gonna get at with y'all is this, all right? So we see I'm going to get to the part when Adam named his wife. Okay, let's go here. When Adam named his wife. All right. Allahayim created man. He breathed to him the breath of life. And then we go here. Adam names the animals. And then here, after all of the work was done that needed to be done by Adam, then he got him a woman. The woman that Yahweh and Allahayim and Yahweh Allahayim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead. He took one of the chambers, which is the same word for rib, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the chamber which Yahweh Elohim had taken from Adam made he a woman, and brought her unto the Adam. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. This is now. Before she was given to him, he didn't. This wasn't what she was. But when Elohim gave the Asha to the Ayash, Adam said, This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. That's possessive. She shall be called Asha, because she was taken out of Adam. Therefore shall a man leave his father. That word wife, the Asha, means wife. Therefore she shall be called Asha, wife, woman. Therefore her name, her office, her responsibility, her legacy, her identity, who she is, shall be called Asha, because she was taken out of Ayash. Therefore shall a Adam leave his Abba and his Amma, shall leave his Abba and his Amma. So he shall leave out of the rulership of his Abba, because what he say, children, honor your father and your mothers. He shall leave the governance or the rulership of his Abba and his Amma, and shall be joined unto his wife. Cleave, the same word that he used for how the strangers got to cleave unto Yasharal to be saved. And he shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. He shall take hold of his wife. He shall be joined to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both, that's a covenant, all right? And they were both naked, the Adam and his wife, and were not ashamed. All right? Now that is the King James Version translation. Now let's go to the Amplified translation. Let me check something real quick. Okay, we're still on the screen. All right, and it say, the word is form. All right, so let's go right here. You see where it say Yahweh right there? See where it say Yahweh? That's Assyrian. That's Assyrian Hebrew, where it say Yahweh. But in Phoenician Hebrew, it's Yahweh. All right. And this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called Asha, wife, woman, because she was taken out of man. So female means wife. You cannot have two Ashas in a covenant like this one. Two Ashas cannot be in a covenant like this one. All right? Ashawath, you can't have Ashawath in covenant with each other like this. Women or wives in covenant like this with a woman and woman. Neither can you have Asha, Ashawathya, Ashawathyam, I think, men in a covenant in this right here. This is Ayash, which means male. He have a male parts. Ayash have a male parts. Woman, Asha have female parts. Alahayim formed Adam in the garden, and then he put Adam to sleep, and then he formed woman out of the rib of Adam from the man, and he gave her to Adam because Asha was made for the man, not the Asha for the Ayash, not the man for the woman, but the woman was made for the man. All right, so that she could be his helpmate. All right, so Alahayim is the one that established the order through creation. So we see that the what he say, that the ground was made for the male and the female, but the woman was made for the man. So when you plant seeds in the ground was made for you, male and female, and the fruit supposed to grow up for you. When you have animals, the animals were made so that you can rule and have dominion over them, not so that the animals can have rulership and dominion over you. Allahaya made man to have dominance over the creation, not that Adam have dominance over one another. This is why Allahayim didn't want Yasharal to have a king, but our ancestors want to be like the other nations and have a king, because she was taken out of Adam. For this reason, Ayash shall leave his father and his mother, and shall be joined to his wife, possessive, his wife, not the daddy's wife, which is the Amma, not cleave unto his daddy, but he shall leave his Abba and his Amma and cleave unto his Asha. Asha, Ashaya, my wife. Asha, his wife. And they shall become one, they shall be achad. They shall be made one flesh. Bara achad, one flesh. And Adam and Ha-Adam and his Asha were both naked. They didn't have on no clothes and were not ashamed or embarrassed. Showing you that it's not a sin for a man and a woman to be bare in front of one another. It is not. A marriage is honorable in the bed undefiled, but all whoremongers and sorcerers and adulterers, Allahayim will judge. So y'all say they were both naked and were not ashamed. Allahayim said, be fruitful and multiply. You cannot be fruitful and multiply with your garments on. So it is not a shame for a man and a woman to come together and have banayam, have children. All right? I'm finna drop the link, Mashpaka. Hold on. Just in case somebody want to come in, I'm going to drop the link while I'm going on with this message. Now, hold on, put your question up. Iqbal, when you get a minute, if you haven't already done so, please do a study on the Hebrew word for woman, Azir. So powerful. Okay, Azir. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, so let me go to wife. Hold on, let me show you, sister. Hold on. So right here, Adam names the animals, then he named the woman. So you have to go, sister, to verse 20. Start at verse 21, and then we're gonna go to the uh, lexicon. There's an interlinear Bible as well. Before we go to verse 21. All right, so verse 21. Okay. And then we're going to go to where it say man. You see it say ha-adam, mankind. The woman is a kind of Adam because she came out of Adam. See? And it say slept. Right here, the word for sleep. Now y'all remember sleep is it say rest, layala, nighttime. This right here, I can't tell what this letter is here. Mm. I can't remember what that letter is right there. But let me go here. That's mankind. And so up the flesh, and the flesh word there for flesh is bashar. They say basar, but it's bashar in Canaanite Hebrew, and it's basar in the Assyrian Hebrew. All right, at that place. So let's go to woman. Okay, now I'm gonna go to rib because I told y'all about the rib too. So let's say proper name of Alahayim. Look, the proper name of, they say God. So when they say the proper way to speak inside an English class, all right, this is the proper Assyrian way to say his name, Yahweh. The proper way to say it in English is Yahweh, but the proper way to say it with their letters is Yahweh in Assyrian. But the proper way to say it, if the police was looking for you, they they say they say I'm looking for a brother. Let's say a brother named Johnson had did something, and they was looking for brother Johnson. They're not finna look up his name and say uh now they say they looking for a man named Joseph and he running from the police. They're not finna look for a man named Yawasap. They're not finna look for a man named Yahshua. They looking for a man named Joseph. So the ones that's named Yahshua, they don't have nothing to worry about because everybody know that names are not lawfully changed. You don't lawfully change. It's unlawful. It's unlawful translation to translate somebody's name to sound like something else. That's how you know that our names was changed. All right, but let me go here. Let's go to woman. Okay, when you say rib, let's go to the rib. Rib right here. All right, rib side. All right, so it's a side. Rib, the word for rib can mean side. Let's see what else it can mean. Then we're gonna get back to Barashayaf. But right now let's go to side. Rib, side. Tasalai. Tasalai. Tazalai, Tsalai. That's a noun. It's a feminine word, and it means rib side. So anytime you have a feminine word, it can only be pluralized. You have to pluralize it in a masculine term, because if it's a feminine, then the last letter is a feminine noun, a verb, or whatever they want to call it. So in order to pluralize it, you have to pluralize it using the thing that I want to show you today, if y'all willing. But right here it says word origin from an unknown unused word, rib side, and it say boards, chambers. Now, what is a chamber? What is a chamber? Hillside, leaves, one another. So when he say he formed Hawa, it can mean that he took her from off of Adam's side, which means he pulled off some of Adam and then closed it back up with new flesh. So when people see this right here, they say this don't make no sense. It don't make sense for people that speak English, which is a bastard language. It don't make sense for us to be trying to understand somebody else's language or even our language with certain things. It loses its power when it's translated. So it loses its meaning, and it's a lot is lost in translation. So in order for us to understand this, we have to have an abar mind. So it doesn't mean that Yahweh took a little rib and formed a Hawa, because it can also mean Yahweh took one another, or the side of Adam, the side, or where the side, a place, a chamber, a place, a side chamber. See that? A side chamber, which means a side place, side chamber, sides. So Yahweh took Hawa from the side of Adam. So he took her from his side. All right, the flesh from his side, and formed Hawa. All right, and it also can means walls. What is walls in Abar? So, family, and if we want to understand this, we're gonna have to go to the origin of words in order to understand what is being brought out. All right. So let me go back to Barashayath, chapter 2, back down to the last verse. Let's go back to the KJV. And that's when they was formed. Now I'm gonna show you something that I want to talk about today, and then if y'all want to, you can come on in and assist with this here message, Mashpaka. So we go to Proverbs 22, begin at verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. A good legacy, a good memorial, excuse me, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and a loving favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. We saw in the beginning Alahayim formed Adam from the. You see that? A prudent Adam foreseeth evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and fear of Yahweh are riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the forward, and he that doeth keep his soul, let's look at the word soul there, shall be far from them. So I'm going to go back here to the lexicon, and let's look up soul. All right. All right. Eva and hideth himself for it. And let's go here to soul, humility, riches, reward. Let's go to soul. Thorns. Uh let's go to soul. So we can see it's different kind of souls. All right. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. I don't keep losing my place. Go back to the KJV. Where did it say souls? All right. Of life. Gold. I just saw soul. Did y'all see soul? It's life. There it go, right there, verse 5. So it's in verse 5. So we're going to go back to the lexicon and go to verse 5. Lexicon in verse 5. Here we go. All right. This is verse 5. Thorns and snares are in the way. Himself will be far from. So what's going on here? I just thought I saw soul. Hmm. There it go, right there. Okay. Y'all see that right there? Napashar. Napashra. Y'all see that? A soul, living being, life, self, person, desire, passion, appetite, emotion. All right? He who guards himself, and he say will be himself. See, you say himself, a soul. So this is the yourself. A soul, a living being, not a monkey, a life, self, a person, desire, your selfish, your yadai, your desire, passion. That's why Yahweh said, whatsoever man heart is, whatever his heart is, that whatever is in a man's heart, that will he speak. That's who that man is. Appetite, emotions. That's your napash. All right. Now let's see what the nations did with our names. But I'm finna go ahead and family, I'm gonna drop the link again. Thank you, Mashpaka. Thank you for understanding. That's right. It is not good for the man to be alone. I shall make him an Izir Kinig Kinig Kingadu, right? Genesis 2:18. What language is that, sister? Privacy. But it say, all right. So we're gonna go back here. Okay, that's Hebrew. What form? What form of Hebrew is that? Is that ever? Is that ever Hebrew? Because it's different forms of Hebrew. I'm just trying to know what form. Oh, okay. So you don't know. I'll look it up. I'm gonna look it up. So let me save your comment. That's cool. But you did put the interpretation though. That's what the apostle Shawal said when anybody speaking in a different tone, let them put the interpretation of that tone. You know, and when people in the church talk about Chevy and a Honda, they don't give you no interpretation. They say Sega Genesis backwards, and they don't give you no interpretation. So nobody don't know what they talking about. They just say Chevy and the Honda and Sega Genesis A B C D E L G backward. Oh, okay. But at least you putting the translation up there. Uh, so let's see what we got. So now let's look at what the nations did. So we're gonna go back to Deuteronomy, the other part that I didn't get to. I think it's Deuteronomy chapter 31. Because a lot of people say, well, well, Moses wasn't talking about y'all. Y'all, it's not written in the Bible that nobody was going to enslave Israel in the last day. They gonna only be highly blessed, and they was brought inside the land in 1940. So just shut up, Negroes, and receive no reparations because it just don't matter. And suck it up. And ain't nothing wrong with you. Everybody got problems. Stop pretending like y'all the only one got issues on the earth and pretending like y'all went through something. Suck it up. And we all was enslaved. And everybody went through this. And everybody, nobody ain't worrying about that. Everybody going through the same thing. But let's read what Moses say. And Masha went and spake these words unto all Yasharal, and he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day. And people say, nobody lived to be 120 years. Wait a minute, my grandmother lived to be 127 years old. My great great grandmother on my grandmother's side, which is my daddy's mother, her mother lived to be 127 years old. All right? And Masha went and spake these words unto all of Yasharal, and he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day, and I can no more go out and come in. Also, Yahweh have said unto me, Thou shalt not go over this Jordan. Yahweh, thy Elohim, he will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations from before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai, he shall go over before thee. You talking about Joshua, Yahweh Shai, the 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 young man that was following him. Masha was showing Joshua what was going to happen. And when you read the book of Joshua, this is when Masha and Joshua was together. This Yahweh Shai and Masha right here. Not Hamashiach, what we read about in what we call the New Testament. But this is another man named Yahweh Shai, all the way in what they call a book that's done away with. And Yahweh Shai, he shall go over before thee, as Yahweh hath said. And Yahweh shall do unto them as he did unto Sihon and to Og, kings of the Amorites, and unto the land of them. If y'all want to know who the Amorites is, I think it's in the last video I did. And unto the land of them whom he destroyed. And Yahweh shall give them up before your face, that ye may do unto them according unto all the commandments, unto all the instructions which I have commanded you. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For Yahweh thy Elohim, he is with you. He it is that doeth go with you. He will not fail you. Excuse me. Nor forsake you. I think I went too far, but hold on. Elohim's charge to Yahshua. All right, Yahweh Shai. Let's go back to verse 30. All right. Restoration promise. All right. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon you. So you got to get all of them. You got to get the blessing. And you also got to get the cursing. When you went inside of the slave ship, when you fulfill all of the blessing and all of the curse, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 so we can see a part that nobody else ain't fulfilled but us. All right. And go down to where the ship's at. Ain't nobody ride the good ship called Jesus in the bottom of them stinking ships but us. All right. Ain't nobody ride the ship that was named after the Kemetic people either. But us at the bottom of them stinking ships. But us. Now watch this. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease. This verse 65. Find no ease. Find no ease. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Now listen, he said you got to go in the land where your ancestors don't know nothing about. And thy life shall hang in doubt before you, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of your life. This is the way the law is going to be set up in the lands where you go. In the morning you shall say, would Elohim it were even. And at the evening you shall say, would Elohim it was morning. For the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of your eyes, which you shall see. And Elohim shall bring you into bondage again with ships. Masrayam means bondage. Again with ships. Again with ships. The old English word for ships is galleys. The old English word for ships is galleys. By the way whereof I spake unto you, you shall be put into bondage again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto you, you shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, for Abid men and Abid women. So when they put us on auction blocks, we were sold unto our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall redeem you. They say that this right here don't mean that. If this don't mean that, then Masha is double talking. He double tongue like a lot of them when they say that this don't mean that. If Masha is not a fork tongue man, he didn't say one thing out of one side of his lip and say something else. What Masha, you got to understand the Abar custom, the Eber custom about bondmen and bond women. You got to be redeemed by a kinsman redeemer. And if you sold into slavery and somebody else have claimed your inheritance, then you have to be redeemed. That's why uh, uh, Jeremiah was saying that the prophecy about the redemption. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And you got to remember that Jeremiah, when he was talking about redemption, that was what the church would call the new covenant prophesied by Jeremiah. All right. Yahweh will cause Yasharal to go he will cause them to go under the rod again, which means we got to be given a new covenant. And no man shall buy you, because we were sold unto our enemies as abid and by slave ships, and then we was put on auction block and sold as a bead. We was scattered in galleys, ships, which is plural. This is plural and not singular. Ships has a S on the end. And in English, when the S is on the end, it's plural. And when we are called bywords in this very same prophecy, we are called bywords. And so when somebody say, is it important for you to be named after your husband? Well, if the, and I tell you, it's a stranger that was talking about if you name after your husband, and and a wife's supposed to reverence her husband. Now every nation on this earth, they have every nation on this earth, they have a man and a woman, a Ayash and a Asha. And if you marry a Grecian and your husband is under another spirit, Yasharal's messenger, Yasharal's malak is Michael, Gabriel. They're the nations, their government is established. Even though Yahweh is using them, they're going to be judged, but their nation is established under spirits that would make laws to oppress you. So if you marry a man that is of another nation and take on his name, the men of your nation, and that man, you are going to have friction. Let me ask you something. Can you put water and fire and they both exist in the same place? When somebody trying to save the prison house, they'll put water on the prison house. But when somebody trying to burn down the plantation, they'll put fire to the plantation. And if you have two forces, one that say I have to I don't want to I have to serve mines, and you have to serve your. That's why when you read inside of the prophets and you read inside of the law, it say if you marry somebody of a different nation, then you are going to serve. You're going to start serving their deities in these nations. When you see they serving something, they have a religion. Their law and their governances is their religion. All right. Their laws about animals. And do not be afraid for Ya'aquaba, for the guardian of Yahweh is great, powerful, honored, and praised more than the guardians of Yasharal. That's right, sister. So, what we need to understand is that every nation is ruled by a spirit. Remember when Daniel got the vision, right? Remember what Daniel, I'm going to show you about Daniel. I was about to show you, but Daniel got a vision, right? And the Malak was trying to bring the vision to Daniel. But the prince of Persia, the spirit that was ruling over Persia, he had to fight with that spirit before he could get to Daniel. And he told Daniel, he said, before any one of y'all got that Bible verse, please post it down in the chat, Mashpaka. But before the Malak could get to Daniel, he had to fight with the Malak of Persia. He had to fight with that spirit of Persia. All right? The Persians and Yasharal is different nations. Alahayim said, you only have I known. All right, Yasharal. He said, I have not dealt with any other nation like I have dealt with you. All right? You are the ones that your hope should be. What's the hope of the saints? They that lead into captivity must be led into captivity. That's not no hope of somebody that want to keep you a slave. The hope of the saints is he that leadeth into captivity. The hope of the saints is one day Yahweh is going to avenge us. One day he's going to redeem us. And those who enslaved us, he will also cause to be our abid. And they're going to have to work for us. And that's real reparation. They're going to have to rebuild the temple, that the ruins. They're going to have to rebuild. They're going to have to work. They're going to have to get in the field and whack. Like granddad and grandma say, whack. Whack. And they're going to be like what they had us in, because Alahayim is not wicked like the slave masters. But when he say they going to have to get in the field and they going to have to whack, do we think it's a sin when we have to whack? Well, like we say, I be working in the, what they say in the song when we was in school? I be working on the rail. Who was working on the railroad? All the live long day. Can't you hear the music singing? Dinah, blow your horn. Who waiting for the last trumpet to blow? Working on the railroad all the live long day. Negroes in diaspora built these railroads up because of the 13th Amendment with free labor. Negroes built the White House and all, and I'm talking about Negroes. And then when I say Negroes, I'm not just saying people that say they African Americans or people on this side. When I say Negroes, I'm talking about the people who are called a byword. I'm talking about Yasharal. So if you marry a man or you marry a woman who is of another nation, they also will be enticed to practice supremacy. They will have the ability to be enticed. Let me ask you something, Mashpaka. How many times have we as a people had to sit down and fight our flesh and say, I'm not going to sling rock. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to starve. Is it easy for a man or a woman to starve knowing that they're hungry? Is it easy seeing the fruit just sitting right there? Let me tell you a story. Me and my wife, we sat down in the store. We sat down in the store, and this is when we was homeless, and there was fruits everywhere. I'm telling you, Mashpaka, was fruit everywhere. It was watermelon just laid out. in the Walmart, and the Walmart let us sleep in the store because we ain't had no place to stay. There was fruits and vegetables. It was smelling so good, and early in the morning it started cooking, and this is before I was gonna get paid the next day. And let me tell you something, that food was smelling so good. The strawberries, the grape, everything was smelling good, Mosh Baka. And you know what we did? We laid down and let our bellies rumble. We laid down and let our bellies roll. We were so hungry, Mosh Baka, but we didn't eat the food. But let me tell you something, your stomach, see, when your mind, see, when your nashma, when your napash, see, nashma is how you say what Yah had gave Adam. He became a living nashma. He got a living napash. So when your nashma, your soul is grown, I mean your stomach is grown, and it start talking to you, and you're looking at the meat and you're salivating just like the puppy dog. Would you see, you train him how not to eat the food, and his tongue licking out on the side, and he trying not to look at the plate. He see the steak smell so good. They frying the fish just right, mashbaka. And you got to fight your flesh. Oh my goodness. And imagine if you are from another nation and you marry a Negro and they being hard pressed on every side, and they married to somebody from the other side, and they just looking at the plate, they look at the dinner how it sit out and roll, they're looking at how they people can go down to the bank and they can just scroll through the park, and they got to worry about the popo, and they just walking the little dog throughout the street. Can you imagine how they feel when they see all of these wealth and all this stuff? Oh, how hard it is to look at it and say, I would love to just practice a little white supremacy to grab me a little meat out the stove. Can you blame them if they want to just grab a loan out of the bank and use supremacy, no matter if they turned you down, no matter if they told you to get lost, no matter if they called the SWAT team out on you? Can you imagine how they would feel living in poverty and all they got to do is throw out their white card? Can you imagine how I feel? Can you imagine how I feel for a Negro to have to worry about whether if I'm finna shuck and jive and hop and bob today? I'm married to this woman, and I don't want to stand up for my brothers and sisters, so I'm gonna have to serve the alahayim of selfishness and the alahayim of cowardness, and I'm not gonna speak up because the more I speak up, I'm degrading the race of my wife. And how much can my wife take it for me to keep on having to boast and tell my sisters that we're gonna make it out of this, and one day my wife is gonna be your Abid, and one day her brothers and her sisters, that's my in-laws and my cousins now, that's gonna have to be your Abid sister and brother. Can you imagine how they granddaddy and grandmama have to fight down and push their flesh down and say, even though they say no reparation for Negroes, they listening to this Negro that's married to their daughter, that's married to their son, continually telling them that one day we gonna be their Abids. Can you imagine how that'll make them feel? So they have to wrestle against the gods of the Gentiles. So it is good that, as the prophet said, as Masha wrote down, as it's written in the book of Numbers, as was warned to Solomon, to marry your own people. So if you take on the legacy, if a Negro take on the legacy of Columbus, and your daddy name was Nat Turner, if a sister marry the offspring of Columbus, she trading the legacy and the glory and the name of Nat, of old Nat Turner, so she can marry Columbus offspring. So now she got a battle that she got to fight. Is she gonna be like Christopher the Columbus, or in the inside of their child, they warring in themselves. They got to deal with people talking about they black. They got to see you put yourself through many pains and confusion. Then when you ask them, say, okay, who is Israel? I'm mixed. My mama and daddy did this to me. I'm mixed. They testifying against their parents. They testifying against the transgression of their parent. And the parents say, I love. But the scripture say, if you don't keep his commandment, you don't love him. But we say, I love. It's just about love. But if you love the commandments, then you going to do, you going to do what Dawad did and not what Shalaman did. Because Shalaman, he was marrying all these different women. But Dawad, he married women of his nation. But we say, well, I do it because of love. I love this woman. I love this man. So I'm taking on the name of this man. I'm taking on the name of Lincoln because she loved this man that got the last name Lincoln, who was the offspring of Abraham Lincoln. She loved this man that owned Nat Turner, his offspring that owned Nat Turner, and getting money out the bank when they want to, and got blood money all in the bank with Nat Turner all over it, and with what the things that he did, that's covering it all up, and got the shuck and jive and hop about. What? How can you reconcile this mashpaka with this name? How can you reconcile this here? If you in the continent and you escape out of the Assyrian captivity and you marry somebody that enslaved your pawpaw before they amputated his private members, he had baby and he had you. And now before he amputated pawpaw's private member, you now down the road, because pawpaw had a baby, your daddy had a baby now before he got his amputation. And now that you here, and now that you had daughters, and you trying to teach your children to love the line of your daddy because your daddy line almost didn't make it, and now the children is trying to go and marry off and change their names to the name of the person that enslaved Pawpaw and tormented him. Do you see the importance of names? Now, imagine if a sister married a man that was of the tribe of Yasharal that was brought in diaspora. If a sister married a brother that was a descendant of Brother Kente. And down the line, they're trying to preserve the lineage of the Kente family. They trying to preserve the lineage of the Miller family, the Negro Miller family bloodline, and they trying to preserve it. And all of a sudden, down out through the years, a sister have a baby here and have a baby there. You're a great grandmother, and you have so much joy, and you filled up with joy in the inside, seeing how your children and how the offspring is trying to preserve their bloodline. Can you see how much joy that'll bring a great grandmother who can look down and see that they children is still taking joy and taking confidence in their people, even though they've been broken down, even though the men of their nation been broken and all this, they still trying to hold their head up. They still, can you see how this thing can correlate if the sisters still marry within their people? And so what I'm saying, Mashpaka, having your name is very important. And so for Yasharal to trade their name after they get this truth, to change your name to Blackie, to even though you understand this truth, to say, forget about Yaaquaba, forget about Yasharal, forget about Masha, forget about Yeshaya, which is Isaiah, forget about all of the prophets, forget about the one that commanded the prophets to write down these things for our learning, forget about Shawal, who got lynched, who got his head cut off for me, forget about Yahushua, who was hung on a tree for me and told me that I would be scattered into every nation as slave, forget about the prophets, forget about my name. I am Blackie. I am Blackie Black. That's me. I'm Negro. I am the niggas. I am black. That's me. I'm position. Because nigga don't mean nothing but a position. But who is your father name? Because Adam is a position. Adam is what they are. But the Adam is just a position. But what was the name of Adam's wife? Hawa. What was the name of Ayash? What was the name of Ayash? Wa Asha. Adam wa Hawa. What was Hawa's husband name? What name did she take? Adam. She took the name of her husband. And back in the days before we were brought into slavery, we did not have last names. So when the woman took the name Adam, she said Hawa. Her name is Hawa. She didn't lose her identity when she became the husband of the first Adam. Neither do you lose your identity when you call on the second Adam. So when Adam receives Yahushua, they do not lose their identity. The Galayan still retains their names. All of the Shemitic tribes still retains their names. They do not lose their identity. The bloodline of Yawan is not lost. The Javanites. The bloodline of a Yashmalite that received Yahushua, his bloodline is not lost. But what he will have to work on is him being cleaving to Yahushua's kingdom, cleaving to Yahushua's commandments, and not cleaving to the constitution and the governments of other nations, but cleaving unto the eternal kingdom of Allahayim. And how do you do that? Yahushua said, if my kingdom was of this world, my disciples would have thought that you not take me. But he said, my kingdom is not of this world, but you do not know what my kingdom is because you do not know me. He said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No man cometh unto Abba Yahweh but by me. Nobody come unto Abba Yahweh but by me. He said, if you have loved me, you would have loved my Father also. Herefore I say unto you, you do not love the Father because you do not love me. Why do you boast, saying you Abraham's seed, when you hate me and you seek to kill my life? He said, I came out from Allahayim. Aman. He said, I'm the bread of life. He said, I'm the bread of life. That's the only way out of eternal damnation. Yahushua is the only way, Aman, to the Father. Aman is like an usher. He leads us to the Father. Aman, he leads us to Abba Yahweh. He don't lead us to himself. When he give us his name, he give us the name of the Father. Aman, because we are his children. He said, Aman, that Yasharal is a nation, Aman, called by my name. Yahushua name is Yasharal because his father is Yasharal. He's Yasharal according to the flesh, Aman, and Aman, and he's born of the Father according to the Ruach, Aman. Yahweh's name, Yahushua, Aman. He said that my people perish for a lack of knowledge. My people, which means that the name Yasharal is Yahushua's name. Aman, because Yahweh came from the tribe of Yehoiada, who was of the house of Yasharal. Aman, and Yahweh, his name is Yasharal, because the name of a father and the name of a son and the name of his people is the name Yasharal. Don't let nobody take your name and make you feel like your name is not significant. Don't let nobody steal your name. Keep the name of your Ayash, Aman, your Ayash, Yasharal is Yahweh Shai. He is your husband, Aman. In the book of Hashaya, in the book of Hawashai, it say, Aman, that in the last day, Aman, we will no longer say unto him, Ba'al, Aman, which means Lord. We will not say Lord, Lord, but we will call him Ayash, Aman, husband. Yahweh Shai is your husband. Yasharal. We're married to Yahweh, Aman, by a covenant and by a promise. Aman. He said it's he said it's impossible for Elohim to lie. Aman. Elohim is not a man that he should lie. Aman. Neither is he the son of man that he should repent. Aman. Yahweh is not a liar like man. Man gotta repent. Let every man be a liar that he may be justified when he speak. I said, let every man be a liar that he may be justified when he says something. Aman. Yahweh is Aman, the only way. Because Yahweh Shai is his name. He is the only way, Aman, to the Father. That's why you can't get to the Father unless you go, Aman, through the Lamb. You can't get to the Father unless you go through his glory. Yahweh, Aman, set his king upon his holy hill, and unless you kiss the son's feet, that's in Psalms chapter 2, unless you kiss the son's feet, Aman, he will destroy you. Aman, Yahweh sent his only begotten son to die, Aman, to be lynched on the tree for you, Yasharal. He sent his only begotten son, Aman, so that in the last day, Aman, when you in this perilous time, you will have a hope. The hope of the saint is they that lead in the captivity must also be led into captivity, and they that kill with the sword must also be killed by the sword. That word there for kill with the sword is killed by war. They that lead into captivity and they that lead into war, those that put us into slavery, those that put us on auction block, those that put us in the ship, those that sold us for free, those who took our land and our inheritance, even our liberty, those ones that did that, Yahweh say, they that lead into captivity must also be led into captivity. I'm going to sing with it a little while, Amen, because they that lead into captivity must also be led into captivity. Amen. Blessed are those, amen, that wait on Yahweh. Amen. If you wait, amen, on Yahweh, amen, he shall renew, amen, your strength. Amen. He said, wait, amen, wait on me. Amen. He won't fail. Amen. You gotta be strong, Yasharal. Amen. Retain who you are. Amen. When Yah made you. Amen. He said you are fearfully, amen, and wonderfully made. Amen. You're made, amen, in the image of Yah. Amen. You didn't come from no monkey. Amen. You didn't come from no ape, Yasharal. Amen. Let them boast. Amen. Let them boast. Amen. But every tongue, amen, that rise up, amen, against you, amen, Yahweh, amen, he shall condemn. Amen. He said they, amen, that bless you, amen, Yahweh, amen, will bless, amen, and they, that curse you, Yahweh, amen, will curse. Amen. He said, amen. He said, if I forget about you, amen, let the sun refuse to shine. Amen. He said, if I forget about you, amen, let my hand forget his cunning ways. Amen. Amen. Yahweh said, I won't forget you. Amen. He said, I go away, amen, to prepare a place for you. Amen. I'm talking about the one, amen, that's the tail. Amen. I'm talking about the one, amen, that's called monkey. Amen. I'm talking about the one, amen, that's used, and abuse. You better hold your head up. Stop letting people put your head down. The only time you should be looking down on somebody, is when you're lifting them up. Is when you're reaching down to lift them up. Love you one another. Yahweh said, you are clean through the word that I said unto you. He said, you are clean through the word I said unto you, that you love one another as I have also loved you. I gave my life for you. I wash your feet. I gave my life for you. He said, if I be in your master, if I be in your, I do not wash your feet. You yourself also, ought to wash your brothers and sisters' feet. Hear the word of Yahweh. I gotta go from here, y'all. I gotta go. I started to feel that thing. I started thinking about how Pastor Lane used to get, how he used to get inside the church. And he used to tell us, he said, y'all better hold on. You got to hold on and see what the end going to be. You got to hold on. No matter how hard it get, you better hold on. You better hold on. You better keep your head up. Yahweh, he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. That's what you got to remember. You got to remember to hold on and let go of whatever y'all want you to let go, but hold fast to what he wants you to hold fast to. He said he wants you to be who you are. He want to make you all the way whole, not just halfway whole, but he wants you to be all the way whole. And that includes every part of you. Every part of you. He wants it to be made well. He wants you to be made whole. He don't want you to hate yourself. Why would he want you to hate what he made? Why would he want you to hate his creation? And even for the Gentile, stop trying to paint your skin to be orange and green. Why don't you start calling on Yahweh and asking him to fix your heart so you can stop hating yourself and painting yourself with different colors? Why don't you stop hating yourself? Why don't you learn about Japheth? Why don't you learn about wherever you come from? Why don't you embrace who you are and love yourself and call on Yah and ask him to change your heart? Amen. Why don't you work on loving yourself? Why don't you work on loving on yourself instead of trying to find ways to hate yourself? It make me feel sad when I see sisters putting other people's hair inside their head, covering up their crown. It make me feel sad when I see women of other nations trying to change their hair to look like somebody else in some other kind of nation. Why don't y'all learn how to give y'all thanks for how he made you? One want to be like somebody else and the other one want to be like somebody else. Why don't you learn how to fall in love with yourself? I got to go, Mashpaka. But it ain't nothing wrong with you holding fast to what Yahweh has given you. Be a good steward in what Yah gave you. You can't be a good steward in what Yah gave somebody else. I'm finna let them sisters finish saying what they saying. And Sister Tia, if you ever hear this, I don't hate you, sister. I want you to love yourself. Every last one of y'all. I want y'all to love yourself. And I'm going to let this finish playing. And just so the sisters can know, if anyone on y'all can hear this right here, please go and subscribe to these sisters' channel and let them know that it's okay to love your people. Mashbakan, finish share this and let it finish playing.
The way that sounds, I don't mind changing that for my private life.
Yeah.
But for my entertainment name, I've got to have Tamara Maury House.
I heard that, girl. You
feel
know
you.
what? And that's good because that's a good sounding name. But see, if I were ever to get married, I would have hyphenate, but it has to be the right type of name because I couldn't take Lonnie Love Handles or, that just wouldn't sound right.
What if it's not about your work, but it's about a personal feeling? Like, I was born Jeannie Mai. That's like my dad's name when he came here from Vietnam. And so I couldn't pick up my husband's name because he's my husband.
What's
but
his
What's his
last
last
name?
name?
Hard ties. So I'd be Jeannie
My-
with hard ties.
That sounds rich. I would take that name. Jeannie
Yeah,
Hard Time.
But for me,
Hard
like,
time.
that
That
it's a Chinese Vietnamese name, yes. I stood up for myself, for my name. Every time I was bullied when I was younger, I said, I'm Jeannie Mai, I gotta stand for it. It just doesn't feel like me once I become another name. It just, for me,
I think because
really
you don't
personal.
have kids yet, Jeannie.
Really, you think?
Yeah, because it's a little awkward, you know, like, especially when your kid goes to school and stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
like,
different
Oh, my
last
kids are
names.
not, and my kids.
So
Don't
true.
speak that in your life, girl. Hold on. Take that back.
Tell me something.
Wait.
Yes.
My son, okay.
Period.
Right. But, you know, when I got pregnant with Logan, I decided to hyphenate my name, Tamar Braxton Herbert, because I didn't want to be the odd man out. You know what I mean?